How long do you spend considering your mistakes, your future? Priestley has considered these two ideas in depth in an Inspector Calls to explore, evaluate and criticise the characters who represent different aspects of Edwardian society. Did you know that an Inspector Calls is one of a few plays Priestley has written that explores time concepts, which is why it has been classified as a time play? One way Priestley uses timing is to set up his views. Priestley timed the arrival of the inspector, who is arguably Priestley's mouthpiece, to coincide with Mr. Burling's speech on how disagreeable socialism is. Mr. Burling, a hard-headed businessman, has a capitalist view that a man has to make his own way and look after himself and his family too. Priestley believes the opposite, so the timing allows Priestley to display his opposition to capitalism from the outset of the play. Priestley was heavily influenced by time theories, one of which was the theory of the philosopher Peter Ozapensky. Ozapensky believed in eternal reoccurrence. He stated that we spend our time on Earth in an ever-recurring spiral. He said that the only way to get out of this cycle is for us as individuals to change and learn so as not to make the same mistakes over again. We can tell Priestley thought about this when writing Inspector Calls because of the cyclical nature of the play. The inspector on the telephone at the end, with the news that a girl has just died, sends us right back to the start of the play. The characters have to go through everything all over again because they didn't learn when they got the chance. This ending also makes us as the audience question how the characters will react to the second round of questioning. Will Sheila and Eric have learned their lesson? Will Mr. and Mrs. Burling deny responsibility? Will Gerald change his response? Priestley challenges society to change. An Inspector Calls can also be viewed from the perspective of another time theory that Priestley has thought about. It is a theory of John William Dunn. Dunn had precognitive dreams that led him to write a book about time. His theory was that you could be given the chance to see forward and backward in time. This would allow a person to change to avoid mistakes and their consequences. The inspector gives them the opportunity to see their mistakes and learn from them. He could almost be preparing them for a possible second round of questioning. What would you do if you could see what you are like in the future? Priestley applies Dunn's theory to explain that we can understand and take responsibility for ourselves and our actions without Judgment Day or the intervention of a higher authority, like God. Priestley liked Dunn's book because he wrote that anyone, i.e. a person of any class, could look into their future, which might be the reason Priestley enables all of the characters to see their futures. Priestley uses time in one other way that allows him to give the audience the chance to view their mistakes. Although written in 1945, An Inspector Calls is set in 1912, just before the World War started. This allows Priestley to use dramatic irony in Mr. Burling's speech to mock and display to the audience the overconfidence and ignorance of their pre-war selves. He also uses this in an inspector's final speech. Fire, blood and anguish was the warning to people that a period of wars and conflict was inevitable if they did not learn quickly enough. This creates a sense of urgency. If we do not change, society will fail. The clock is ticking.